Shalom. Call hello Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Rakar Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us his truth. Shabbat Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and in sincerity. I'm the brother Yahshua. I'm back with another lesson. And this is going to go into the energy and the takedown of Babylon the Great, in which they think that they're doing it to themselves, but it's the Most High guiding their hand, all right? So we'll start right here with Jeremiah 25, and we got a little video that goes further in depth into the gasoline crisis that they're manufacturing, all right? So Jeremiah 25 and 10. Moreover, I will take from them the voice of mirth, all right, and the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom, and the voice of the bride, the sound of the millstones, and the light of the candle, all right? And this goes into energy, the light of the candle, right, goes into energy and that whole thing, all right? Of course, it goes into, the knowledge and wisdom, okay? But it also goes into, what do you use a candle for? To light the room up, okay? And how do you do that nowadays? Well, cut on the light switch, all right? Sound of the millstone goes into work, okay? Gladness and mirth goes into how well your economy is doing, okay? All right, so let's watch this. This is John Williams' account, May 11th, which today is the 12th. This is yesterday. The title is The End of Gas, What the Media Isn't Telling You, all right? So this guy's got some interesting perspective, so let's listen to what he has to say. This is 11 minutes. I don't know if we'll watch the whole thing, but we'll get the main points, and then we'll come back and get some precepts. Go ahead and close it out, all right? Try to keep it short. All right, here we go.
Hey, what's up, guys? John here. The Keystone Pipeline went down 11,000 jobs immediately upon Biden entering office. Now the Colonial Pipeline down. You have Georgia, North Carolina, Florida, and Virginia, all shortages with oil.
Okay, so that's one. Now I'm going to tell you about the other ones that they've taken down without nobody noticing, going into the shutdown, the systematic shutdown of the grid, so to speak, with oil and, and this oil actually has something to do with powering these helicopters and jet planes, right, in the military and in the private commercial or whatever, right?
And now we have a new pipeline in Michigan.
We have a new pipeline in Michigan. All right, wait a minute. Let's back that up. So that lets you know that something else is going on here, right? All of this happening at the same time. What's going on? Back it up a little.
Florida and Virginia, all shortages with oil. And now we have a new pipeline in Michigan. The Michigan to Canada pipeline is also now being closed. What's very interesting is they say this is a ransomware attack, but also Klaus Schwab, the head of the World Economic Forum.
All right, we know who Klaus Schwab is. Everybody's watching him now. He done emerged on the great scene, right? And what he said a couple of months ago, all right, he's going to expose himself. He's going to the Most High is going to cause his tongue to fall upon itself, all right? So let's watch this.
They say this is a ransomware attack, but also Klaus Schwab, the head of the World Economic Forum, about 10 months ago, said, "We all know but still pay insufficient attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack could bring a complete halt to the power supply, transportation, hospital services, our society as a whole, The COVID-19 crisis would be seen in this respect as a small disturbance in comparison to a major cyber attack.
Oh, wait a minute. But we are paying attention. The men of the Lord, the watchmen, we are paying complete sufficient attention so we can catch things like this.
To use the COVID-19 crisis as a timely opportunity to reflect on the lessons the cybersecurity community can draw and improve our unpreparedness for potential cyber pandemic.
Okay, so that's letting you know that all of this was planned, and it's a part of their larger plan to bring in their NWO, which is not going to work. All right, so let's let this fool continue to expose the plan, all right, because he is assisting in causing the tongue of this devil to fall upon itself.
So they were setting the stage for this 8-9 months ago. And in this video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly what's happening behind the scenes that you won't hear about on mainstream media and where I see all of this going. Please smash that like button. When you hit the like button, YouTube's going to share this content and educate more people as to what's really going on. So please hit that like button. If you wait.
There's a few commercials in this thing, so bear with me.
Let's begin. Colonial Pipeline stopped operations on Friday and notified federal officials that it was the victim of a ransomware attack. The attack, carried out by a criminal cybercrime group known as DarkSide, resulted in the shutdown of 5,500 miles of pipeline. The artery supplies half of the gasoline to the East Coast and runs from Texas to Jersey. The pipeline company said it expects to restore a substantial amount of operations by the end of the week, but how much is not clear. U.S. Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm said federal agencies are working around the clock to help the pipeline return to normal operations. The shutdown arrives in an inopportune time, the beginning of what could be a record summer driving season as Americans make up for last year. Given the size and the direction of the pipeline and the markets that it feeds, the Colonial Pipeline is the single most important artery moving refined products in the country, said Michael Tran, energy analyst at RBC. This is already an earthquake, and a magnitude of the earthquake has grown by the day. We all know that Joe Biden wants to lay out an electric vehicle grid throughout America right now, and he's building out these steps and showing how inefficient our current system really is so he can lay his plan out. For example, the Energy Secretary Granholm asserts that gas prices may have gone up because of the virus. This came out 3 days ago, Fox News. Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm pressed to explain why gas prices are around 50 cents higher per gallon than they were when President Biden took office, said that prices could have gone up because of the virus. Beyond whether or not you think your policies are to blame or are worried that the prices could impact whether or not Americans can travel, which is, of course, needed to put money back into the economy, CNN Jake Tapper asked Granholm Friday. People need to travel, you're right, but we need to get the virus under control. We need to get that 70%. We need to get herd immunity. This is from the Energy Secretary. Granholm replied, why we have gas prices gone up? Could that be because the virus of itself? Everything is tied together. And Biden's plan with this electric vehicle grid is a $15 billion investment. $15 billion investment to fund the vision to build a national network of 500,000 charging stations. This means holding both public and private recipients of federal funding accountable to create and support good middle-class jobs.
Charging stations sound like for cars, so they're doing away with oil.
What he wants to do right now is he's going to continue punishing the oil pipelines, the entire gas and oil industries, food, farmland. All this is going to be coming under attack very, very soon.
That's very important right there. So one hand washes the other. All right? So this planned attack, this planned drawdown of Babylon the Great, right, Esau believes that he's bringing in his new world order because you got to take down the one last superpower, which happens to be Babylon the Great. But what he doesn't understand is that the Most High put that plan in his head as though he was ever going to be able to carry it out. But in the middle of it, he's going to sneak in there and spoil him. All right? And Esau doesn't even know that. He's rubbing his hands. All right? The Most High is going to rain it on him when he is eating. All right?
It seems very far-fetched, like something like this could really happen, but it is happening, and over the next 6 months,
it is happening because the Most High is causing it to happen. Oh, well, they wouldn't do that to their own people. First of all, you don't understand the devil. You believe in the devil. But the Most High controls the devil. All right?
12 months, we're going to really start to see so many problems start to unfold. There's so many articles over the last 12 months that they've slowly been dropping on us.
The perfect storm of everything happening simultaneously, right? Because people ain't paying attention. They can't see it. They can't believe it, right? So when it hits, it's going to come like a thief in the night.
This one also is very interesting. The Hill magazine came out about a month and a half after Klaus Schwab's statement.
Here we go. Slovakia. So they got to break up this truth when it comes out. They'll probably pull this video very quickly.
They said, officials warned of increasing cyber threats to critical infrastructures during the pandemic. Senator and other energy sector officials warned Wednesday that foreign adversaries are continuing to target U.S. electric grids, noting that the 19 pandemic has only underscored the dangers.
Okay, now we can't forget what happened in Texas. And it wasn't only in Texas, it was down there in those southern states. It affected not only Texas, but a bunch of the surrounding states. And you have to take into consideration which are the states that are thumbing their nose at the pandemic laws. Okay, so there's an underlying civil war, if you will, going on at the same time. All right, and they're creating that as well. All right.
As we know, this apparently is a Russia attack, is what they say on our pipeline. The threat of cyber attacks by foreign adversaries and other sophisticated entities is real and it's growing. State Energy and Natural Resources Committee Chairman Lisa Murkowski said Wednesday during a committee hearing on cyber threats to the grid. The 19 pandemic has created a unique opportunity for cyber criminals to attack our networks, including critical energy infrastructure. Murkowski pointed to concerns over Russia's targeting of the Ukrainian power grid in 2015 and recently announced indictments by the Department of Justice against 2 Chinese hackers for targeting a wide range of groups, including Department of Energy.
Cyber warfare is asymmetric warfare. All right? It's going to be nothing like the big one called World War II. That thing is going on now. If you don't understand that we're at war right now, you're not paying attention. All right? Of course, you think that the war is going to start when the nukes are going to be dropping. No, that's the end of the war. All right? The war is going down right now. Pay attention.
We all know the stakes here, Murkowski said. A successful hack could shut down power, impacting hospitals, banks, gas pumps, military installations.
Banks. Okay? Got to get rid of them dollars. All right? Got to get this hand waving action going on to be able to buy and sell.
And cell phone service. The consequences would be widespread and devastating, and only more if we are in the midst of a global pandemic. And apparently the Michigan pipeline has to shut down.
Okay, and he's going into the other pipeline that people aren't even talking about. But the pandemic itself is germ warfare. Okay? Germ warfare. Asymmetric war.
Not about 2 hours ago. What are the odds? Colonial Pipeline shuts down. Now the Michigan pipeline has to shut down.
all at the same time, letting you know that this thing is planned.
Michigan orders closure of pipeline, escalating dispute with Canada. While the governor says the leak is a ticking time bomb, the company says Line 5 has never experienced a leak. The state of Michigan has told a Canadian energy company it must shut down a controversial oil and gas pipeline by Wednesday amid growing fears that a spill would be catastrophic to the region in a feud which threatens and strains relations between Canada and America.
Okay, so there's the North. Now the North ain't gonna have no gas. Okay, so not only do you have right the supply chain all jacked up, right? That's the ships bringing over goods, right, and docking at the docks, and then taking the containers, unloading the containers, and putting what the contents of the containers onto what? Onto trucks that need diesel fuel to drive these goods to their destinations. So the supply chain is being severely attacked from within and from above. All right. Ultimately, again, call halal Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbat Shem Kodash. All right. So here's what we're looking at. Let's watch a few more minutes of this, and then we'll get the precepts and go ahead and end it.
The company's refusal to comply with the order and swift support from top Canadian officials highlights the politicized nature of pipelines.
But wait, Canada is supposed to be our ally. What are they doing? Fighting. Okay. Yeah, you can blame it on Russia with a cyber attack, but what's this? What's an escalating dispute with Canada? Aren't they supposed to be allied with Babylon?
Which campaigners have used as a target in the fight against climate change. For nearly 67 years, Edenbridge has moved oil and natural gas from Western Canada through Michigan and the Great Lakes to refineries in the province of Ontario. But Michigan says that one section to the pipeline, Line 5, is too risky to continue operating.
Suddenly. All right.
Interesting how this coordinates so beautifully with climate change and Biden's infrastructure package to solve climate change and bring net zero emissions. This is where we're headed right now. This is not by accident, none of this. That's my personal opinion.
And that's my personal opinion. All right. So anyway, and what they have planned for their NWO is to finally release some of this stuff that they stole from Nikola Tesla, free energy. Suddenly, there's a car company that comes out under the name of Tesla, and these cars run on batteries and they drive themselves. And well, we're going to move from the dinosaur of crude oil, all right, energy. We're going to bring in some of this stuff we've been hiding so that we can power up what we believe is going to be the NWO. That is not going to come to fruition. All right? So enough on that. We've proved our point. The point has been made. All right? So let's get Zephaniah here. We're going to get a couple of precepts and go ahead and close it. Zephaniah 1 and 11. All right? Howl ye. Well, let's start. Howl, ye inhabitants of Mektesh, for all the merchant people are cut down, all they that bear silver are cut up. Hey, Mektesh is about the market. All right? Well, the market is being shut down. The merchant district. Okay? Trade, if you will. Ain't no trade. First of all, ain't no ships pulling in, according to William Mount a couple of years ago. All right? Ain't no freighters bringing in Connexes, right? And unloading them and putting them on trucks. And then how are you going to truck that stuff that's going to sit there and spoil? if you don't have diesel. So they're shutting this thing off. All right? It's Ecclesiastes 12. Nope. It's Ecclesiastes 12 and 4. And the doors shall be shut in the streets. Okay? When the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, all the daughters of music shall be brought low. All right? Let's go back a little. Start at 3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened, and the doors shall be shut in the streets. When the sound of the grinding is low, he shall rise up with the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Here we are. All right? We're in that time. All right? So that should do it. All right? The point has been proven. The Most High is bringing this place to an abrupt halt, right? And simultaneously gathering the troops in the valley of Yehoshaphat, all right? Which we're about to go into in this next video. So with that, I hope that the elect were edified. And until the next one, Shabbat Shalom.